Get hit like and subscribe button. Tell a friend, tell a friend. Here we have another crazy story, another crazy story. Yep. Big Meech. Yeah, he was a man back in the days. He was. He really was. Back in the days.
Family background. Demetrius Edward Flannery Sr., better known as Big Meech, was born on June 21st, 1968, in Detroit, Michigan. Growing up in a
So Big Meech, he was born back in 68. You know? He was born back in 68.
class family, Big Meech, along with his younger brother Terry Flannery, also known as Southwest T, were exposed to the struggles and hardships of inner city life from
It's crazy that everybody's saying that Big Meech got released early, but they're not saying anything about Terry, because Terry got released early too, but nobody's saying anything about him. It's crazy.
age. Their parents, Charles and Lucille Flannery, were known for their strong Christian beliefs, but the lure of fast money and street life drew their sons in a different direction.
That fast money and that street life, believe it or not, you know, happened to the best of them. Saw what happened to Pee Wee Longway.
Detroit in the late 1970s and early 1980s was a hotbed for illicit activities, especially as the economic downturn in the city created a ripe environment for drug trafficking.
Motor City, you know? That used to be the Motor City, but I guess Big Meech, he decided, you know what? I'm going to let Detroit be known for something else. Did he really do it? Maybe.
The hardships, the Flannery family maintained a close bond, with Demetrius and Terry relying on each other as they navigated their way through their early lives. Education and
Believe it or not, only thing they really did was just navigate themselves into jail. That's it. That was it, really, believe it or not.
hustle. Big Meech and Southwest T grew up during the rise of hip-hop and street culture, which heavily influenced their ambitions. In their early teenage years, the brothers attended Detroit public schools, but their minds were not set on traditional paths.
Big Meech was focused on making some money. He made money. He made money. Came with a price, though. Came with a terrible price.
Education. By the time Big Meech was in his late teens, he and Terry had already entered the drug trade, looking to make a name for themselves beyond the struggling neighborhoods they came from. Although there isn't much public information,
They said that Big Meech and Terry came from a struggling neighborhood, and the only thing they did was made the neighborhood worse. It's a terrible thing.
on Big Meech's formal education, it's clear that his street education took precedence. He and Terry started small, selling cocaine on the streets of Detroit, but it didn't take long for them to develop a more
I mean, let's not get into all that right there. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button.
organized operation. They were driven by their desire for wealth, power, and the lavish lifestyle they saw in music videos and among street legends.
Big Meech was addicted to living that fast life, making that fast money. Believe it or not, yeah, he was addicted to it. He was addicted to it.
What began as a small-time hustle soon exploded into one of the largest drug distribution networks the United States had ever seen. The Rock.
Is that the truth? Was Big Meech really doing it on such a large scale? I don't believe so, but hear what they're saying. What do I know?
Of the Black Mafia family, BMF. In the early 1990s, Demetrius and Terry Flannery founded the Black Mafia family, BMF, a massive drug trafficking and money laundering operation that spread across the country. By the mid
Imagine that. Nationwide criminals. I mean, it's one of those things, though. Nationwide criminals.
2000s, BMF had become a national empire, with operations stretching from Detroit to Los Angeles, Atlanta, and Miami. Big Meech served as the face of the organization, while Terry handled the logistics.
They say that Big Meech, he was a party animal. He is the one who used to love to go out and pop the bottles. You know, buy all the fancy jewelry, fancy watches, fancy cars.
Together, They developed one of the most sophisticated drug distribution systems in U.S. history, making hundreds of millions of dollars in the process. BMF wasn't just about drugs. The organization also ventured into the entertainment industry. BMF Entertainment, a record label.
Big Meech, he's still trying to get into the entertainment world right now. But it's going to be harder for him this time because they said his name's been tarnished. It's a terrible thing. Tarnished name, tarnished reputation.
Big Meech was a key part of his vision for legitimacy. The label worked with prominent artists such as Young Jeezy, who was closely associated with BMF.
Young Jeezy? I haven't seen Young Jeezy with Big Meech since Big Meech been out. I wonder why. Imagine that.
And promoted lavish parties and events that made the BMF name famous in the hip-hop world. BMF's lifestyle became notorious for its flashiness. Big Meech and his associates were often seen driving luxury cars, wearing high-end designer clothes, and hosting extravagant parties in Atlanta's.
Is that all Big Meech did with his money? I mean, I don't know. His son had to work for a living, so I'm assuming that Big Meech, he didn't save any money.
Booming club scene. This lifestyle made BMF popular in rap lyrics and culture, but it also caught the attention of law enforcement. The downfall, arrest, and imprisonment. By the early 2000s, the Drug Enforcement Administration.
Believe it or not, you have a whole lot of these individuals, they go to the club and they throw money away, you know, and when they get caught, they say, oh, how did they get caught? How did they get caught? It's crazy.
DEA had its sights set on BMF. The sheer scale of the organization's operations, smuggling cocaine in multi-kilogram quantities across the U.S., had made them a primary target for law enforcement. In 2005, after years of investigation,
I'm just assuming if Big Meech was doing it on such a large scale, he would get life behind the bars with no parole like you know, like El Chapo. What do I know? It's kind of crazy. They say he was this notorious drug lord, but he was only given such short time. That's kind of crazy.
the Flenory brothers were arrested and charged with running a continuing criminal enterprise, CC. In 2007, both Demetrius and Terry were sentenced to 30 years in federal prison after pleading guilty to the charge.
2007, 30 years. That's 2037. That's about, what year are we in right now? 2025, 35. That's 12 years from today.
Big Meech's arrest was a huge blow to BMF. The extravagant lifestyle that had once defined him was gone, and the organization's assets were seized by the government.
Yeah, I have on my mask because this is my YouTube uniform. That's it.
The downfall of BMF served as a major turning point in the drug trade across the U.S., as it represented the end of an era for the flamboyant street kingpins who had previously dominated the scene. Personal life, family, and relationships. While Big Meech is a legendary figure in the streets, he's also a father. His son.
He's a father. I'm not going to say that. But he's a father, though.
Demetrius Lil Meech Flenory Jr. was born in 2000. Lil Meech is following in his father's footsteps, not in the drug world.
I mean, Little Meech. Why would Little Meech want to be like his father? I don't know. The reason why I say that, because he's hanging around with all these celebrities, all these entertainers, like he wanted to live the life his father wanted to live. Unbelievable.
Entertainment. He plays the role of his father in the Starz television series, BMF, produced by 50 Cent, which chronicles the rise and fall of the Black Mafia family. The series has...
No more. The series might be done with right now. Imagine that. One thing about life, they said nothing stays the same. That's unbelievable. Is that the truth?
renewed interest in Big Meech's story and reintroduced him to a new generation. In terms of his romantic life, Big Meech's personal relationships have been kept mostly private, though it's known that he had several romantic partners over the years. He has not been publicly known to be married, but his influence in both the criminal and entertainment world.
Big Meech is just known for partying, that's it. That's it. Throwing his money away, that's it. Blowing money fast. That's all he used to do.
Has been significant. Life in prison and efforts for release. During his time in prison, Big Meech kept a relatively low profile, focusing on his legal battle.
They said when Big Meech was first locked up, he wanted to get out. He wanted to get right back to partying. Um, and then he tried to, you know what they say he tried to do.
And working on reducing his sentence. His brother Terry was released in 2020 due to concerns about the COVID-19 pandemic.
His brother Terry came home. What's that? 15 years early or 15 years early? Or was it? I don't know. 14. I don't know. 16.
Big Meech wasn't as fortunate initially. However, after years of legal efforts, Big Meech was able to secure a sentence reduction. In 2021,
To be honest, I don't think that these individuals will be locked away forever based on the crimes they was accused of. To be honest. To be honest.
federal judge reduced his sentence by 6 years due to changes in sentencing guidelines and his good behavior while incarcerated. Originally slated to be released in 2032, his new release date is set for 2026. But on October 16th, 2024, Big Meech transferred to a halfway house. Despite being behind bars, Big Meech continued to maintain a strong presence in the streets and in hip-hop culture.
So that's what's going on with Big Meech right there. That's what's going on with his brother right there. They said they were the best to ever do it. Is that the truth? I don't think so. If they were, why didn't they get more time? I don't know. It's a terrible thing.
With many artists and figures paying homage to his legacy. The lifestyle, lavish living, cars and houses. At the height of BMF's success, Big Meech lived a life of unimaginable luxury. He was known for his penchant for high-end fashion, sporting brands like Gucci, Versace, and Louis.
Not anymore. Not anymore. It's crazy how things could change. It's crazy how things did change. I'm trying to figure out why Big Meech didn't get more time.
His parties were legendary, and he was known to spend lavishly on alcohol, women, and anything that screamed opulence. Meech had a collection of luxury cars, including Bentleys, Ferraris, and Lamborghinis.
Meech was living like a superstar. That's what comes along with it, though. Live good. Just go to jail. Just try telling somebody to get out. That's it. That's it.
Which were often seen on the streets of
Don't
Atlanta.
don't forget to hit like and subscribe button. They said Big Meech made Atlanta the city it is right now. Before they was just driving around in Chevelles and Cadillacs and Dodge and I don't know. It wasn't foreigns though. It wasn't foreigns.
Big Meech.
That's what I heard. I don't know if it's the truth. I don't know if it's the truth.
Flannery Sr.'s homes in Atlanta and Miami were the epitome of luxury. His Atlanta mansion boasted sprawling interiors, featuring high ceilings, marble floors, and opulent decor, complete with an indoor pool and state-of-the-art security systems. In Miami, his waterfront estate offered breathtaking ocean views, private docks, and expansive outdoor living spaces.
Big Meech was living that life. Seems like he's trying to get back to that life right now. But it might not be that easy. They said his name and his character has been tarnished. Imagine that. It's one of those things, though. I mean, sometimes individuals do what they gotta do to get out. That's it.
Pools and lush gardens. Both properties were filled with custom furnishings, high-end electronics, and entertainment amenities, reflecting his extravagant lifestyle as the head of BMF, where luxury cars often line the driveways of these stunning residences. Net worth at the peak. Estimating Big Meech's net worth is difficult due to the clandestine nature of his operations and the subsequent government seizures. However, at the height of BMF's success, it's believed that Big Meech's net worth was estimated to be in the hundreds of millions of dollars.
I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars. What did Big Meech do with all that money? Or do he still got it? Imagine that. Do Big Meech still have money tucked away? And he just pretending to be down and out and poor? Maybe.
The organization was generating tens of millions of dollars per year through its drug trade. And while much of that money was spent or seized, Meech's empire left an indelible mark on American culture. Legacy and cultural impact. Demetrius Big Meech Flannery's life is one of legend, a tale of rags to riches, a meteoric rise, followed by a dramatic fall.
So that's what's going on with Big Meech right there. He went in, did his thing. Now his reputation is different now. Before he went in, he was praised. He was looked upon like um like a highly respected figure. Not anymore. Now they say he's looked upon, he's looked down on like in disgrace. Is that the truth? I don't know. Only thing I do know is crime don't pay. But I seen him do it. I seen him do it though. I'll be back live in 10 minutes.